And God bless you, Sebastian, for your encouraging remarks, for your morale-boosting remarks. And thank you so much for mentioning Charlie Kirk of blessed memory, who was a great ambassador for Israel on dozens of campuses. And you had to make the case for Israel better than many of us. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce Gregory LoGerfo. Did I say that right? LoGerfo? It says here, it's a soft G. So I want to make sure that I said that right. Especially you have an important position. I could get into trouble afterwards if I didn't say it right. He is the acting coordinator for the Counterterrorism for the Bureau of Counterterrorism at the Department of State. He is a career senior foreign service officer with the rank of minister counselor. He served in Iraq, Egypt, Jordan, and Tunisia. And you look like you came out of those services in those countries in one piece. That's good. I've never been to Tunisia, by the way, but I've dabbled in the others. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you to Sebastian for warming up the crowd. It's great to be back in Israel. We're having a great visit here. Meirav, thank you, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for hosting us. We had a great discussion yesterday. We have an extraordinary, as you all know, but I just want to emphasize it, an extraordinary, long-standing partnership with Israel in confronting exactly what Sebastian just laid down as a civilizational threat against jihadi groups. I did get out of my assignments in one piece, Jonathan, but in all seriousness, I've been at 3 embassies where we've taken casualties from terrorist strikes, and all 3 attacks were from jihadi groups over the years, and it's something that has shaped my career. One of the reasons I'm here today, and then more broadly, just an honor to serve in this administration, as Sebastian laid out, the clear-eyed approach that we have in confronting terrorist threats. The President has made clear we will confront those who threaten our civil liberties, including freedom of speech. And as you all know, more than anyone, over the last 712 days, the confrontations that we have to take when necessary to confront those who threaten our way of life. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the diplomatic efforts that we're making to underpin all that Sebastian explained. We have an exceptional interagency team in the White House and across the Department of War, the State Department, our intelligence community, to confront terrorism. It's a great group. We're making great progress, as Sebastian said. We've taken action when necessary in Africa, across the Middle East, to confront ISIS and other threats. Our focus is on destroying and disrupting terrorist networks, holding state sponsors accountable, securing our borders, protecting state sovereignty, and degrading the capacity of terrorist groups to threaten the United States. The Trump administration's approach to counterterrorism recognizes that America first does not mean America alone. We have strong counterterrorism partnerships across the globe with a focus on proper burden sharing from partners with shared interests. Burden sharing is not a concept I need to explain to my Israeli friends, but we are working across the globe to make sure that when we share risk in facing terrorist threats, our partners have to share burden. The threat landscape today is different from what we faced on the eve and during the aftermath of the September 11, 2001 attacks. ISIS and al-Qaeda continue to inspire their followers across the globe to conduct attacks, including in the United States, Israel, and Europe. ISIS in Syria and Iraq and ISIS Khorasan in Central Asia show ambitions beyond their regions, and al-Qaeda affiliates in Africa continue to grow. Additionally, Iran and its terrorist proxies, including the Houthis, Hezbollah, and Hamas, continue to destabilize the Middle East and present a clear threat to the United States, Israel, and our regional partners. Iran and Hezbollah remain determined and intent on continuing their campaign of terror, targeting dissidents, Jewish and Israeli facilities and persons, and former United States officials around the world. And as Sebastian just said, all of this takes place in an environment of rising anti-Semitism. The collaboration between criminal and terrorist groups is rising. This includes the Western Hemisphere, where the Trump administration has made clear the importance of security and sovereignty of nation states, and we're setting the example by securing our own border. Transnational cartels and gangs, such as those in Mexico and Venezuela, devastate their communities and present a direct threat to U.S. security, including through their involvement in human trafficking and the trafficking of drugs. Fentanyl last year caused an estimated 80,000 deaths in the United States. As Sebastian said, this has been going on for several years. This requires us to increase our attention to our own neighborhood, deepen coordination and partnerships in the Western Hemisphere, and as part of this broader approach, we're working with partners such as Paraguay and Ecuador to confront Hezbollah and other Iranian proxies across the Americas, and the expanded threat from their increased funding and planning activities in the Western Hemisphere, as well as potential ties of convenience with Western Hemisphere-based terrorist cartel groups. The Trump administration is clear-eyed and focused on identifying these threats and using all means necessary to eliminate them. The administration has used, when necessary, military tools decisively against terrorist groups and nations threatening the United States, in the Middle East, Africa, and the Western Hemisphere. Our designations authorities cut off resources to dangerous groups. Secretary Rubio has designated 14 cartels and gangs in the Western Hemisphere since the start of this administration, giving the executive branch the necessary tools to confront these threats. The administration has sanctioned several Iranian networks, including those who smuggle oil, shadow bankers, and the shadow fleet of vessels and management companies. And just yesterday, Secretary Rubio designated 4 Iranian-aligned militia groups in Iraq as foreign terror organizations. The United States works closely with our allies through our Counterterrorism Terrorism Forum and Law Enforcement Coordination Group to improve awareness and coordinate action against Iran-supported terrorist activities. You may have seen a statement on that a couple months ago with us and some of our European friends. Through these and other fora, we are steadily convincing countries to designate, ban, and otherwise restrict Iranian-linked terrorist activity, including those of the IRGC. These efforts continue to yield results. Just a few days ago, Ecuador designated Hamas, Hezbollah, and the IRGC as terrorist organizations. In addition, the United States provides training on counterterrorism financing with a focus on Iran and its terrorist proxies around the globe. These training efforts have supported countries' designations of Iranian proxies, including Hamas and Hezbollah, the arrests of Hezbollah financiers, and significantly improved coordination among international partners. The United States will continue to share information which allows countries to hold terrorists accountable through their criminal justice systems. On Syria, following the collapse of the Assad regime and under the leadership of President Trump, we are seeking a stable and unified Syria. ISIS remains a threat in Syria, and to ensure its enduring defeat, we're focusing on the ISIS detention facilities and displaced persons camps in northeast Syria. As a result of our diplomacy and the efforts of our partners in the region, many countries have repatriated their nationals and prosecuted them where appropriate. The United States, under President Trump's leadership, intends to create space and opportunity for the Syrian government to succeed, including against Iran and ISIS. This also includes asking our European allies and regional partners to share the burden for addressing this security interest. We will continue to monitor Syria's progress in ensuring that ISIS does not take hold in Syria and does not threaten U.S. interests. Another tool we have is the 89-member Coalition to Defeat ISIS. It's a massive coalition. It's probably the biggest coalition of nations diplomatically in recent memory, probably since World War II. The coalition, you'll remember back in 2014, we helped to defeat the caliphate that ISIS had, territorial caliphate that ISIS had developed in the Levant. But there's more work to do, and we need to improve burden sharing to face ISIS from Central Asia to Africa. To tackle terrorist terrorist travel before violent actors reach our borders, we're working with countries to bolster their visa regimes, expand information sharing on travelers of concern so that we can enhance our terrorist watch list and screening programs, and strengthen border units and screening systems to deter and disrupt terrorist travel. Again, we've set the example by securing our border, and we're also bolstering the concept and in actuality the sovereignty of nation states as a central component of how we confront terrorists who want to get into our countries and attack us. In closing, I will just say the Trump administration has made clear that we will decisively confront terrorist threats, and we will do so in a focused and targeted manner, working along partners who are likewise committed to countering terrorist threats. You all here are on the front lines. We are with you. We're with you in the struggle against Hamas and other jihadi networks. Thank you for having me here today. God bless you all.